What is one word that you think of when you think of Mike Morgan?
Tenacious.
Fearless.
Smart.
Balls. A big set of balls. I know I was told to describe him with one word, but you can't describe Mike with one word only. He's got a big set of balls and a big heart. All right.
Inspirational.
Tough.
Ruthless.
Leader.
Instinctual.
Beast.
Number 9, Mike Morgan. Field drops back pass. Goes over there, intercepted. Ball is intercepted by number 54, Mike Morgan.
What is one word that you think of when you think of Mike Morgan?
Well, when I think of Mike Morgan, I can't explain it in one word. There's not one word that I could tell that comes to my head. You know, I have to be here all day, so I'm just going to get into it. It all started, this all pertains to the video, so it all started back going into our senior year, which was the 96-97 season. And no, me and Mike Morgan were not the biggest, the fastest, strongest kids, but we did have good work ethic. So it all started when we started working out together, driving ourselves, well, mostly me doing the driving, picking him up every day at his house and going to Queen of Peace. We started working out, lifting weights, doing the usual, until we discovered another training technique with a rubber band. And we used to train and run with this rubber band every summer. Until one day, I snapped the rubber band, eventually giving Mike a couple staples and stitches into his left calf, if I remember. But what I do remember the most about that, the next day, we were right back to working out with the staples and stitches and with a brand new rubber band. It was like it never happened. And then going into, as the months and days and the season came, and we started to get closer and closer to our first game, you know, you had the green and gold scrimmage. That one play in particular I'll never forget, because that was the day I said, you know what, put on a little weight this year. I'm going to start, you know, maybe dishing some of the punishments, start running over people, start running around, because I always was a smaller person. But after that green and gold day, and Mike hit me and basically broke my face mask, I said, you know what, I'm going to stick to running around people instead of running into people, because I had never been hit like that before, and I've been hit by a lot of people in my career. Professionals, everything. I've never been hit like that before in my entire life. And after that, as the season started, I mean, I'm sure you're going to hear everybody speak about the way he hit, as hard as he hit, and his defense. Like I said, we weren't the most talented. The team wasn't the greatest team, but he was basically the key to this team. And whether you see his name in lights or you've seen his name in paper or anything, he was the key to this team, and everybody realizes that. And you're going to hear a lot about that on his defense. But most of all, the things I'm going to talk about are how we started out the season. We started out 0-2. You know, Mike was on the offensive line. They had him playing guard. You know, he couldn't block everyone at that position. He couldn't get to the spots that needed to be blocked at that time. So a decision was made where Mike will be moved to fullback. And that's when everything started to go downhill. Everything started to go uphill from there. You know, Mike would clear paths for me, open up holes for me, and he made me the person I was. Yeah, my name was in the paper. I was scoring the touchdowns. You know, Gerard was scoring the touchdowns, the these other guys. You know, those were the guys getting credit and the glory for everything. But behind the scenes, Mike Morgan was the real hero of that team and the key to that. Whether it was a block, whether, you know, he fell down or something, he was still feared by other players. I mean, I remember when we played Westwood, and they went to a 5-4, 3-4 defense, to just scattering everybody, the whole team, in one hole. And they knew where we were going. And Mike would just lead through, and there would still be space, and they couldn't stop it. It was one of the most amazing things I ever seen. It was just like, I would just laugh at the defense, saying, well, you know where we're going, and Mike would just blow the hole up, and I would just go right through every single time, and it could not stop it. But most of all, Mike, if you'll see on the highlights and in the video, anytime someone made a play, whether it was him, me, Gerard, any other player on the team, he was the first one there to congratulate you, the first one there to celebrate with you. He was more happier than when I made a play than when he made a play. Like I said, Mike Morgan was the unsung hero of this team, and everybody knows it. And he never asked for the glory, never asked for anything. That's just the kind of character it is. And that's the way he carried himself from high school all the way on, because we continued on through on, and that's the way I look at it to this day on. You know, even though he's not here with us right now, and just the way he led me through in the football field by blocking and opening up the path, that's what he's doing for me now. He's opening up the path for me in heaven, and he's got to make a lot of openings up there for me to get up there. So that's what I feel he's doing that for me right now. And there's not one word that could describe that kid, except, I always looked up to him, and he always was a mentor to me, and I'll always love him. And I don't consider him a friend, I consider him a brother.